Interestingly enough, I just had to set a boundary with my daughter because she kept trying to let the cat in my office while I was recording because the cat was standing outside the door. And she said she felt sorry for the cat and wanted the cat to come in. And I had to be very firm with my boundary because I can't have a cat walking around up here like she likes to do when I'm trying to record for you guys. So welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen Brown. I'm a self-worth recovery and relationship healing author, mentor, and speaker. And today I want to talk to you guys about 5 reasons why your boundary may not be working. If you're watching this video, chances are it's because you are highly frustrated with the status quo of a relationship or several relationships in your life because you're trying to set boundaries, you're trying to get your needs met, you're trying to be respected, and yet they're not doing it. And you're wondering what's happening or what it is that you're doing wrong. So if you are someone who is interested in setting, maintaining healthy boundaries, recovering from people pleasing, how to deal with toxic and low vibe people, how to raise your energetic frequency, how to step into your true self-worth and self-love, then I'm your girl. So don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and come on over. The first reason why your boundary may not be working is because you truly don't feel worthy of it. Now, this is typical for a lot of people because we're afraid, got a hair here, we're afraid of what's going to happen on the other side of this boundary. You know that you need to set a boundary. You know you're not being treated the way you want to be treated. You know that you are not getting your needs met in the relationship, but yet there's a part of you that's kind of holding back. And even if this is just a little tiny fraction of the energy that's coming at them, unfortunately, a lot of people who are used to getting their way with us, they're going to smell it. They're going to feel that little crack in your resolve. They're going to feel that little opening and they're going to exploit that. And a lot of times that's not conscious. It's just an energetic feel. They just feel like you don't really mean it, like 100% mean it. So they're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again. The cure for this, for reason one, is to really work on your self-worth, which is what my book, The Recovering People Pleaser, A Spiritual Guide to Reclaiming Your True Worth, is all about. It's about recovering your self-worth so that you can show up in the world in a place that you feel very grounded in your worth. So when you go to set healthy boundaries, they're going to hear it the first time. They're going to understand that you mean it. And it's not because you're getting mean. It's not because you're getting rude. It's because there's an energy that's going to resonate off of you that says, yeah, don't mess with me. And the second reason why your boundaries may not be working is because you are not being clear enough. Setting a boundary is not saying something like, stop doing that, or I hate it when you do that, or if you do that, I'm going to leave. Those are just threats. Those are just, words that we're using at somebody, but they're really not laid out in a clear and concise way so people know what they're doing, how this feels to you, and what's the consequence going to be on the other side of this. That's what it means to set a healthy boundary. It means showing up to the person and saying something like, I'll use the example if someone's yelling at you. I will say something like, I'm requesting that you don't raise your voice to me. When you raise your voice to me, it's very off-putting to me. It pushes me away from you. It makes me feel disrespected and dishonored, which is going to break my connection with you. It's important to understand that a boundary is actually a request. It's a request that we are putting forward to this person so this person can look inside and start to shift their behavior and start to question what it is that they're doing and to see if this is actually something that is of high vibration or something that is of low vibration. And they get to go inside and they actually get to grow and heal and evolve a little bit because of our boundary. This is why boundaries serve both parties. And the third reason why your boundaries may not be working is because you aren't being consistent. Now, I'm going to liken this to, let's say, training a dog or actually training a child to do something. We all know that animal training and parenting takes a tremendous amount of consistency. Well, the same thing is true when it comes to setting and maintaining a healthy boundary with one of your people, because your consistency is going to train them over time that they cannot do this thing that you're doing. A lot of times, innocently, we set a boundary with somebody and we think it's just going to be one and done. And many times that's because we are recovering people pleasers. So we're projecting our willingness to please other people onto them. We believe that, hey, I just need to speak this thing to this person and they're going to be like, sure, no problem. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. That's how we think it's going to be because oftentimes that's how we are. So we project that onto people thinking that they're going to do it the first time too, and they don't. Why? Because people are engrooved in their pattern of thinking and behaving. This is part of their personality. This is grooved into their brain. And even though it may not be healthy, it's still part of their habit and still part of their pattern. But by us being consistent and coming to the table with the same thing over and over and over again, nothing's going to change. And they're going to see that we are highlighting that behavior each and every time that it happens. Because many times we want to say the thing and we just don't want that confrontation or that uncomfortableness again. So we don't want to revisit it again. And then we think that it's done, but it really doesn't work that way. Think of it as if you are training your pet to go outside to go potty or to not get on the sofa or whatever it might be. It's going to take consistency of you pointing that out over and over again to them for them to really understand that this is a real thing. And the fourth reason why your boundary may not be working is that you're not following up with action. This is a really, really super important part of boundary setting. In fact, I go into it at length in my book. You guys can grab that here if you like. This is an amazing book. Everybody that's read it has just absolutely sung its praises. But I go into this at length in there because we think we just need to speak a boundary. If we just say it to the person, then the person's going to get it and it's going to be done. But what I've noticed in my experience and over time is that I would speak my boundary to somebody, and if they continually did that thing, I'll use the example of someone yelling at me or raising their voice to me. What I would do is the minute that happened, because I'd already told them a couple times that this is not okay and this is not the way we're going to do things, what I would do is then remove myself from that person. That's an action boundary. What that means is that if it's on the phone, I will say, I'm going to hang up now until you can talk to me calmly or something like that. I love you. Goodbye. Click. Or I will leave the space that the person is in. I will say why I'm leaving the space, and then I will leave the space. This is called action boundaries, because if we sit in it, we've requested they stop doing this thing, but we sit in it with them. Guess what that's telling them? That we're going to sit in it with them. They really have no motivation or inspiration to change or to stop that behavior because nothing's happening. The same thing is going on no matter what they're doing. So why are they going to take the time, energy, and effort to try to go within and self-reflect and to heal that part of themselves when they just get us the same way that they've always gotten us? And the fifth reason why your boundary may not be working is going to be a little owie. This is going to be a little ouchy when I say this to you. So take a deep breath and take this in. All right. The fifth reason could be that they really don't care. They don't have as much invested in the relationship as you do. They don't want to go within. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't really care whether you're mad at them or not. I know that can sting a little bit because we have invested a lot into these people and we love them and we care about them and we've shifted ourselves to adjust to the relationship, but yet they're not willing to do this for us. And this is a time where we really need to take some really good self-evaluation. We need to ask ourselves, is this worth it for me? Do I want to stay in a relationship where I'm not getting equally respected and cared for as I am doing for them? And what I have seen is that when people oftentimes get to the point in their relationship where they're like, okay, no more of this, I'm out, then all of a sudden the person starts going, oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to lose this person. I need to shift myself a little bit because now they're leaving. And then they might try to jump through some hoops to get you back into their life. And if that is the case, I highly recommend that no matter what you do, if you do allow them back into your life, remember that it took you this far to get them to that space. And that means you're going to have to be hyper consistent with that going forward because they've showed you that their pattern is to really not give a bleep about you. So if they come back in and they're pulling you back in, this doesn't mean that all of a sudden they've changed their mind and you're the most important things in their life. It means all of a sudden they're missing you from their life or they're missing the attention that they got from you. And so they're going to work to get you back, but then they're going to fall back into the same old pattern. So I really hope that this helped you guys today. This is a really, really important topic and one that I'm very passionate about. And if you want a little additional help with boundaries, I've constructed a free guide that is called Say No with Confidence, 25 ways to decline politely without guilt. I've written out 25 pre-scripted statements. They're not real big, pre-scripted statements about what you can say to another individual so that you know and you can rest assured that you are declining from their invitation, that the thing that they want you to do, and you're doing it in a way that you can feel very settled in your energy and knowing that you're not doing anything wrong. You can get that guide right here, but also the link will be in the description below. If you've enjoyed what I had to share today, I super hope that you guys give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to share with someone you love. And I love your comments. If you have any questions or any comments at all, please leave them below because I'm very interactive with my community. There's no comment that I do not read or respond to unless that it gets lost somehow in the fray or I don't get a notification for it. So please leave your comments below. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, everybody, remember, you matter. Now go love yourself and learn to set those awesome, rock solid boundaries.